Right, welcome back to the channel, guys. This week's CEX visit is down in Woolwich, which I consider personally to be the best CEX that I've visited in London. Slightly disappointed that we couldn't film the windows today due to ongoing roadworks, but hey ho, what can you do? Anyway, with that in mind, let's head straight inside and see what they've got to offer today. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is my personal favourite CEX that I've visited on numerous occasions over the last 12 to 18 months. I always seem to see a good variety of stock in here. It's very clean, it's very well organised, and the staff, to my experience anyway, are always very helpful and friendly. If you haven't already and you do like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's a massive help, and if I see you out and about, I'll buy you a Yorkie. Top tier selection of handhelds here. See multiple versions of your DS here as well. Various variations of the Nintendo Wii as well. It's a nice quality red one. You don't see that one out too often. A boxed Nintendo Wiimote as well in pink. Again, you don't see that too often out and around. And a decent selection of amiibos if that's your thing. I do quite like the Wario one, but that's not a rabbit hole that I'm going to be going down anytime soon. So let's head straight to the glass cabinet where they keep the majority of their retro items. Every time I've come down to this particular branch, there is always something in here that catches my eye. Great selection of Mega Drive stuff, as you can see here. I always loved the Fatal Fury franchise. I don't collect for 16-bit systems at the moment, so there was nothing that I was going to pick up in that area. However, I do love seeing that sort of stuff out. The nostalgia kick that it gives me is unreal. That Ultraman has been there for a while, and at £40 I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. I remember getting that from Woolworths in the bargain bin for £5. It reviewed terribly upon release, and rightfully so. Nice copy of the original Smash Brothers there on the N64. I'm really not into Smash Brothers. I've dabbled a bit. I love fighting games, but I don't consider them to be a true fighting game. I'm sure someone's going to pull me up on that, but I'm not bothered. It's just not for me. A couple of nice Game Boys there and a Sega Master System control pad. I remember having the Sega Master System and thinking that control pad was the absolute bee's knees. How wrong I was. Once I got that Nintendo NES and I used the D-pad on that, there was no going back. Some pretty good loose cartridges in this particular branch today as well, I must say. Now, if you're a loose cartridge collector, definitely I would have thought there would have been something here for you today, depending on what you collect, obviously. Couple of GameCubes in here. That one there is in not the best condition. Got the old nicotine effect. Robocop on the Game Boy there. That is a fantastic game. Absolutely love that, and absolutely love the music that was made for it. Let's head on over and have a look at the PS3 section that this store's got. Straight away you can see Tekken X Street Fighter, or Street Fighter X Tekken. Very underrated game. I don't think it was as bad as some people made out. It's not as good as Street Fighter 4 maybe, but it's still a good game in its own right. Now, I've been on a bit of a Tomb Raider kick recently, playing the recent release from Evercade. So I am considering picking up the HD collection on the PS3. Has anyone got that? Let me know in the comments, please, as it's something I am considering picking up. I'm not the biggest Tomb Raider fan, but I've started to appreciate them a little bit more since I've been playing them on the Evercade. Plenty of Ratchet and Clank games in this shop. Another series I've never really delved into. It's definitely got its hardcore fans out there. Should I start playing Ratchet and Clank? And if I do, what would be the perfect entry level game for myself to start with? Let me know in the comments, please. Right, sticking with the PS3, this is one thing about the Woolwich branch, is that every section of games has really got a large variety. Great Ninja Gaiden game there, tough as nails, as all Ninja Gaiden games are, predating back to the NES days. But they're still great games, and I definitely enjoy playing them. I just haven't got very far in any of them, I don't think. Now, you can see slightly underneath that God of War collection, that is a cover reprint. They've sneakily put that sticker on there, I think. I hope nobody gets caught out with that one. Got the Darkness 2 there. I really enjoyed the Darkness series for what they were when they initially came out. I had them on the 360. I finished the first one, I think. I never really got that far in the second one. Still a good game. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as the first, however. That's probably the reason I didn't really push it through and try and complete that game. I think if I remember rightly, there was quite a few changes to part 2 compared to the original. And that was probably, I don't know, it probably put me off. I'd have to revisit that game. I know I've got it at home somewhere. One of the BlazBlue entries there on the PS3, a fighting game that I've never really been able to get into. I've tried a couple of variations of that series, and not only am I not very good at it, I've never really enjoyed it. I didn't find them fun. Now, considering what you tend to get in most shops with the Wii U, not a bad selection at all here today. I do admit though, it really annoys me when they do a cover reprint and you see a different shade of blue on the Wii U games. Astro Boy there. I used to have a friend that went by the name of Astro Boy. We will not go into that, but nevertheless, it's on the Nintendo Wii there. Battle of the Bands there, looking extremely dirty. Now, out of all the CEXs that I've been to, I think the Woolwich branch has got the biggest selection of Wii games that I've ever seen. Now, that might not be of interest to some people because the Wii is not everyone's cup of tea, but I do enjoy collecting for the Wii. I've said it in many videos, there's some hidden gems most definitely on the system, and I'm really enjoying collecting for it. It's just getting a little bit difficult now finding those gems. Here's one that I consider to be a gem, and that's Disaster. I picked this one up not that long ago, and I believe Disaster is only on the Wii, and it was a really fun, enjoyable game to play. If you see that one out and about and you've not heard of it before, I urge you, spend the £4 on it. I don't think anyone will be disappointed in what you get. You definitely get your value for money on what they're currently charging on Disaster. Now, spoiler alert, I had a look at this game and I walked around with it for a little while. I was going to be bringing this one home, but I'm trying my best not to pick up too much filler these days. I'm trying to get as many games as I really want to play rather than just collect. And that's more down to the space that I've got at home. So yeah, spoiler alert, I did put that one back as I changed my mind halfway through. In all honesty, the reason I've hit the Woolwich branch today is I've come down here particularly because I know they've got one game in stock that I definitely want to buy. So that will be on my list today. I must say, I think I made a mistake in not picking up that Pikmin there. I actually don't own any Pikmin games whatsoever. I don't mind them, I've played them, they're not bad. But I should have really picked that up at the price at £8. Okay, let's hit the 360 section. And as always, it's an absolute monster selection that they've got in the Woolwich branch. But similar to the Wii, it's getting to the stage, and the PS2 actually, it's getting to the stage where I personally am struggling to find games that I want to add to the collection. As I said earlier, I'm trying to not just fill my collection out with fodder. Yeah, I want to just get the games that I want to play now, and I'm kind of getting to the stage where I've got everything that I want, apart from some random heavy hitters that you don't see in everyday shops. Now that could all change if I start making more space at home. However, that's going to be dependent on quite a lot of things. And until I've got more space, I'm just being more choosy about what games I pick up. In all honesty, if I had free reign and pretty much unlimited space, I would be picking most games up off the shelf, regardless of the quality. I would just be stacking them in the shelves and not worrying whatsoever. Got Ninja Blade there. Unfortunately, it's a cover reprinted. Got down to £12, which is quite surprising because if I remember rightly, Ninja Blade was one of those games that was affected by the increase in 360 prices. So to see it at £12 is a bit of a shock, to be honest with you. I quite enjoyed playing that one, so for £12, if you see it without a cover reprint, obviously, definitely say pick that one up. It might be one of those games that's going to fluctuate in price and it could be going up anytime soon. Now, I'm not a huge fan of racing games whatsoever, but Project Gotham Racing is really good. And is there a better racing game that you can get out there for around about £1 to £1.50? Personally, I don't think so. Now there's one of the Spider-Man games that I need, as I'm trying to get a full set, and unfortunately cover reprinted. I'm not going to be paying anything like £55 or whatever it may be for a game with that dirty triangle in the top left hand corner. Now sometimes if you do visit this particular branch, if you go right to the end of the shop, you'll find this little section of 360 games. It's quite easy to miss it if you don't walk down there because it's kind of situated with the DVDs and the Blu-rays, but because I know it's there, I always go down there to check. Now, a massive selection of PS2 games. As I've mentioned, every console from that particular era has got a really big selection of games in this Woolwich branch, and that's one of the reasons that I head down there. Evil Dead, A Fistful of Boomstick, I was going to say Broomstick. Great game, definitely worth picking up, and especially if you're a fan of that franchise. Now, Gungrave, I've been playing the most recent installment in this series on the Xbox and the PlayStation 5. It's got pretty dodgy reviews, but I've quite enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. It's very flawed, but I'm enjoying it. I haven't played this one on the PlayStation 2. Is it worth picking up at £25? Now, here we've got a bona fide classic. Go Diego. Is that Dora's other half or something? Or best friend at that age, I would imagine. Now, Fahrenheit is a game I've never played. At £6, it looks quite good. I know it was quite a big title when it came out. Let me know in the comments, should I pick that one up going forward? Judge Dredd there, that's not one you see every day on the PlayStation 2. Legends of Wrestling there. I remember buying that game when it came out on day one. I was a huge wrestling fan at the time. I'm still a fan. Wow, what a disappointment that game was. Now, two games next to each other here that I kind of associate more with PC gaming, and that's Lemmings and Leisure Suit Larry. I don't have a great deal of experience with either title, but yeah, should I add them to the collection? What do you guys think? On Imishua 2 there, I was going to pick this one up today. Unfortunately, no manual. I used to be a lot less fussy when it came to collecting games without manuals, but with CEX starting to price things the way they are with and without manual, they've become fussy on their side, so I'm going to become a little bit more fussier on what I buy. Now, I couldn't remember if I've got this game. I am trying to get a full set of Resident Evil games. It's not a hard game to find, it's in most branches, so I'll go home and I'll make a checkout on that one. Now, I've never seen this game before, Red Card. It actually looks like a lot of fun, and I've since found out that it has a GameCube version as well. Didn't get great reviews. I didn't pick it up today because, again, it looks like fodder. However, I did go home because I thought something like this where you can just continuously foul people, yeah, that just sounds like a bit of fun. Got Soul Reaver 2 here. This was another one that I considered picking up today. Didn't have a manual though. I'm quite looking forward to the Legacy of Kain games coming back out, remastered on the modern systems, and the originals being re-released on the Evercade. Now, still sticking with the PlayStation 2, as I told you, they have got a massive selection. As much as I do love the PlayStation 2, I think we've all got to admit they are quite a boring set of games to display when you look at the spines. When you look at something like the Nintendo Switch, the Wii U, how the colours pop. As great as the PlayStation 2 was and still is, aesthetically they don't look great. Now from that generation, in terms of displaying games, I actually prefer the OG Xbox. I think the green on it just pops that little bit more than the very, very bland PS2 spines. Now, not a bad selection of Xbox games here today. You do tend to go into a lot of branches and see next to nothing with this system, so it's always nice to see at least one shelf full of titles. Now this is a game I've been wanting to pick up for a little while, Atari Mania. At £15, I'm very tempted to pick that one up today. Okay, this one looks like it's RPG based, which I'm not an RPG guy, so yeah, let's put that one down and move on. Copy of The Hunt down there. I absolutely love that game. At one point that game went down to £8. It's gone right back up into the £20 range, but it's a really good title. I believe that game is from Retroware, and Retroware have got some good stuff coming out, I can assure you on that one. Keep an eye out for the Michael Myers Halloween game and the Ash vs Evil Dead double pack is coming out at the end of October, just in time for Halloween. Now, I said in last week's video, I've been picking up a fair few more PS5 titles than I have in recent months, and that's a good thing. It's a system that I have really wanted to collect for. I'm not buying you though, Bluey, so go away. And the more games I can add to the system, that's great, because I purchased it with great hope, in all honesty, when it first came out on day one. And yeah, it's been quite a disappointing era of gaming for me personally. So if that can improve, that's brilliant. You know, that's what I want to see. Now Talos, I have no idea what kind of game this is really, or if it's any good, but I do love this edition. Comes with some sort of magazine inside as well, and it comes in a lovely sleeve. At £28 though, I'm not sure. Now let's check out the PS4. Now I'm only calling it the PS4 because I think I've exhausted searching for games on the system. The system itself is absolutely fantastic. No problems with the PS4. One of the best consoles definitely of all time, and it's definitely got a huge library that I love. Now this is a game that I'm very interested in, and it's actually the one I've come down here for today, and that's Dollhouse. Now that Snoopy game is one I do want to own, however I want to get it on the Wii U. I never see it out and around for the Wii U, and yeah, it's becoming frustrating. I might have to do a CEX lottery on that one at some point, because I don't ever see it in and around the shops that I'm visiting. quick look at the Xbox Series and the Xbox Series X stuff. Nothing for me today. So as I mentioned, this game Dollhouse has intrigued me for a little while. It wasn't that long ago that this was a £30 to £25 game. It's dropped dramatically to £6, and with that being the case, I was always going to come down and pick this one up. The second game I picked up today, Atari Mania. I chose to buy this on the Switch as it looks like the sort of game that would be best played on a handheld. It's something I'm really intrigued about, and I can confirm since playing it, it is a real fun game. Anyway guys, that is the Woolwich branch. Admittedly, it's a branch of CEX that I've done numerous videos on now, but there is a reason for this. It's definitely my favourite branch. That hasn't changed after any of my visits, and I always look forward to going down there. What do you guys think of the Woolwich branch? Have you been down there before? And if not, do you think it looks like a better branch than some of the others that you personally have been in recently? Anyway guys, once again, thanks for watching the video. As I said earlier, if you do happen to like this kind of content, give us a click, give us a sub, share the video, hit that bell icon so that you know as and when I'll be uploading. And until the next video, take care.